Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Louise Golding from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. And welcome to another Tuesday afternoon show where we showcase some gorgeous plates. Anything groovy usually is on Groovy Tuesday. So yes, we're going to look at Tina's all-in-one Christmas plates this time. So Paul showcased these last week on Hobby Maker. I think it was last week. Yeah, it goes so quickly now. Yes. Last week. So we're going to have a proper look at them again, have a look at all of the lovely design team work. We're also going to have another look at Tina's A4 sampler plates. So that'll be nice. And then we can have a good peruse over the artwork as well. And at the end, I'll have a little demo prepared from the lovely Jane Telford. So Gilly's going to be in the room with you today. So if you have any questions, Gilly's there to help. So sound is great. Thank you, Gilly. Lovely. So I'm just going to go through a few housekeeping rules. So we have at the bottom, we have, let me bring up the first thing we're going to have on the show. So this is Tina's Christmas Easy Layout A5 square Groovy plate collection with 8x8 Shenandoah designer parchment. So below, as you can see right here, we have the website www.claritycrafts.com, and then we also have the phone number, which is over here. And on the phone is 01732 868215, and the lovely Sue, Jazz and Pete will be there to take your calls. So those are the two ways to order. But the lovely plates that we have on the show today is on the screen there. So also, if you are a club member, so you can either belong to one club, two clubs, or three clubs, as you can see underneath the price is the discounted prices if you are a member. So if you are a Groovy Club member, Stencil member, or Stamp member, you get 10% off, which it brings it down to $37.76. And then if you have two clubs, so that could be Groovy and Stamp, for example, you have 12.5% off, which gives $36.71. And then if you are a Diamond Club member, which is all three clubs, then that's 15% off. And that brings it down to $35.67. So for 4 plates and the 8x8 designer parchment, that's a really, really good price. So it's, yeah, that's the first thing that we have on the show. So I've got some lovely design team samples to show you. And then secondly, on the show, these were on last month, I believe. This is Tina's Floral Samplers A4 Groovy Plate Duo with 8x8 Rainbow River designer parchment. Now, both of these parchments are actually really, really lovely. Shenandoah was first created to you can kind of build scenes into it. And the Rainbow River's got some really lovely colours as well. So, and then this is $51.98. So again, as below, you have 10% off, which is $46.78, 12.5% off, which is $45.48, and 15% off, which is $44.18. So those are the main two. Also, let me bring up the screen graphics. I think it's a good idea to show everyone the full screen. And also we have the I Am Essential birthday sentiments on the show, which is 42554. That's $14.49. And then obviously underneath is all of your discounted prices. And then we have the Christmas sentiments, again, $14.49, and all of the discounts are underneath. So these are really, really lovely plates to go on your design team, your design projects. And some of these fit really, really lovely inside the layout. So we'll have a look at that in a little while. But yeah, so those are the main things that we have on the show. Let me come back to the full screen. So hopefully everybody is ready. I'll come out of the chat and into the other bits and pieces we've got. Lovely. So that's better. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you the main layout, the actual plate as it comes, the full layout. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I traced these out last week I'm also going to show you the layout with all of the ingredients inside. So it's a good idea to show you with and without. So if I show you on the overhead, let me bring into the main screen here. So this is the lovely Christmas tree one. So that's 42578 if you wanted that on your own. So you have the, let me see if it's, yes. Oh, is it right? Yes, sorry. So you have the main layout, you have the trees and everything, you have the stars. So it's really jam-packed with all sorts of different designs. However, let me bring it side by side here. You then have the actual layout, which you can, this is all of the lines on the layout. But for example, if you wanted this large square here full of grid work, you don't have to put these lines in. But this is the layout which you can put any of your components from any of your Groovi plates in, which is really, really lovely. So for example, like I was saying earlier, if I bring in these, so like we've got the Christmas ones here, again, we can fit in some of these into the layouts as well. Say you wanted the large one there, or you can have the Joy to the World in this one. So that would look really nice. So that's why the sentiments are on the show, because they really do kind of, you can use from our home to yours this Christmas, or you can use the essential sentiments as well. So it's a good idea to show. And don't forget, you can, any way you can use these. They work anyway, but they've been designed to go this way, if you know what I mean. So that's the first one. Then we have the Christmas rose, which is 42577. So again, you've got some really gorgeous boards, and you've got the Christmas rose design, and then health, peace and sweet content this Christmas. So you've got some really gorgeous designs in there. However, if you wanted to use your own elements in all of the other Groovi plates, then this is just the main layout, which you can say you didn't want that line in there, you don't have to put it in. So it's your choice. You have all of these lines to create this layout, but then you can take lines out and create your own layout, which I think is really, really, really good. Then we have the Christmas candle. I like this one. This is really, really lovely. I like them all. I like the Christmas rose too. Can't make up my mind. So yes, this is the Christmas candle, and you've got all of the lovely candles there. It's just really, really lovely designs. I love the little dangly stars as well. But this is all perfect for your white work, all of these lovely little dots. These would look lovely in white work, but also with some colour behind. Or if you're feeling brave, you could picot cut these out. So there's lots of choices. And then again, like before, we have just the layout itself. So you have the main circle, and then all of these lines, you can take lines out, put the lines in. It's really up to you. But this is the layout which you can put all of your other components in if you wanted to. And then lastly, we have the Christmas dove. So this is lovely because it's got some lovely little hearts in there. I love that. That'd be good for Valentine's Day as well. So yeah, this is really, really pretty. So you've got some really lovely designs here. This is a really lovely effect as well. I love the dotty lines. So yeah, so there's really lots of, and you can use some of these components in, you can switch and change. You know, if you wanted the dove in another one, you can put the dove in another one. And then this, again, this is the layout with nothing in it, just the actual lines. So, which can be used any way you like. So those are the main plates we have on the show. Let me come back to the front. And then, of course, not forgetting, this is really, really lovely parchment. Hold on, let me come back to I just love this parchment. So inside you have 48 sheets, and you have 12 patterns, 4 of each. And this was designed originally by Barbara. So this is, you have a front and a back. So this is the front, which is the more muted side. This is the side that the parchment has the colour has been printed onto. So, for example, with all coloured parchment, for those that may not know, if you emboss into this side, you will get white on the front. If you emboss onto this side, you will get this colour in front of the white work. So because the colour is printed, and then it would show on top. So it would be like a muted colour of what's on here. So these are really, really lovely. And like I was saying earlier, perfect for like little scenes. So like you can see you've got the trees around here, a lake or a sea here, and the sky here. So they do lend well to scene building. I love this. It's so fiery. Perfect. And you've really got a combination of all sorts of different colours. It's not just one colour tone. It's completely different. See, this is a really lovely scene. Again, you can see you've kind of like got the lake and the trees in the background and some foliage here. And then it's almost like you're looking out of a wood into the... I'm getting a bit technical now, but never mind. I'm getting carried away, you see. So it really does lend itself to scenes. So some really lovely colours in there. So then you get that in with the collection. So if you wanted to get the full collection, which is on the screen there, that would be what you would get in. You would get the Shenandoah. So my favourite bit now. You can have a look at all of the lovely design team work. And they really, as usual, I mean, we say this every time. I can't get this card off the table. There we go. They really outdo themselves every single time with their artwork. What I like now is that on the design team project as well, at the front we have this really lovely tag done by Glynis. I can tell it's Glynis because she loves doing tags. And they're all beautiful. We've got a collection of tags made by Glynis outside in the design team work. So, and look at the lovely ribbons as well. So this is literally, you don't have to use the layouts. You can use the elements in the layouts on other cards as well. So this is the tree from this one, just without the lines. And Glynis has put some lovely crystals on and used a little embossed design in there. So, and using some of our tool work and some of the lovely tool work by Linda's tool work books. She has 2 volumes, and I think this comes from that. But Glynis does some lovely grid work and some lovely tool work. Isn't that gorgeous? Nice and sparkly with the gems as well. And then next we have a lovely card from Jill Askham. So this is cut out actually using our doodle dies and put in front of some lovely like gold card there. And then, so that's been stuck onto that, and then some lovely grid work around here. So you don't have to put the elements of, you can also add your own grid work inside, which I think is really, really lovely. Again, some of the lovely stitching around the edges as well. We come in a little bit more just to, oh, there we go. There we go, some of that lovely stitching around here. Isn't that gorgeous? And then some lovely little tool work around the outside. Really beautiful. So that's Jill Askham. And then coming in with some extra lovely glitter, this is Carol Pankstello. So let me come out a little bit there. So it's a slightly bigger card, you see. So this is jam-packed with glitter. I don't know if I can... There we go. Oh, there you go. You've got a sheen there. So much glitter. It's absolutely gorgeous. So Carol actually hasn't used the lines that are in the Christmas tree. She's used a different design from the plate. It's also up here. As you can see, that's really lovely. So it looks like a string of decorator lights going around the Christmas tree. I love that. So gorgeous. And some really lovely, probably using the stencil brushes, I would say, and some distress ink maybe. She's created this really gorgeous sky with this moon. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Love that, Carol. And then we have a lovely one from Carol again, using the Christmas rose. I really love this Christmas rose. It's absolutely gorgeous design. And then you've got the lovely little, it's almost like vines coming down. So Carol has used some grid design that's from Josie's embossed grids. So use those instead of some of the designs that are inside. And instead of, what does it say? I've got it here somewhere, it's the Christmas rose. Instead of health, peace, and sweet content is Christmas, Carol's just put Christmas because it's got Mary up there. Isn't that gorgeous? And I love the colours, really gorgeous. So next we have a lovely Glynis. You can tell by the tool work as well. It's always so gorgeous. And the lovely white work. Look at those Christmas doves. Aren't they gorgeous? And got some grid designs around here. And really mix and match. Use some of the little, you can use the volume 1 or 2 again for this if you wanted to use this. This is in one of Linda's tool work, volume 1 or 2. I can't remember which volume it's in, but it's, although that one's with a 5 needle, and this is a 5 in a circle tool, which is absolutely gorgeous as well. So you can still use the same layout, it's just with a different tool. That's gorgeous with some lovely tool work around the outside, really gorgeous. And this is lovely picot cutting inside. And next we have, I love the black on the white, it's always so gorgeous. Glynis Whitehead, this is her one. It's really effective with the black and the white, stunning with the grid work, one of Josie's circle grids. And then just with this is just stuck using black brads onto a black card, which is cut into a circle, obviously using the doodle dies. Matching doodle dies here and here, really effective. Lovely bit of white work as well. So the next card is Carol Baker. Really gorgeous colour, I love this. This is using one of our designer parchments. I'm not quite sure which one, we have quite a few, but it's absolutely gorgeous, whichever one it's come from. It'll probably say actually on the back. Antarctica. Lovely. It really lends well to the blues and everything for Christmas. Really lovely. And then the next one's from Josie Davison. I don't even have to look on the back of her card. I know that's hers because of the grid designs. Let me just double check actually. Yes, Josie Davidson. I didn't want to say the wrong person, but then I thought, yes, it's got to be Josie. So some gorgeous white work, really effective, and then using some of her embossed grid designs as well. So this shows that you can cut certain squares in the layout out and put the parchment behind, so you can really layer match. So say you have this, you could also cut this one out if you wanted to, and this one, and put the grid design on the one underneath. So there's so many ways in which you can use these layout plates. They are really gorgeous plates. The next one is from Hazel Edwards. So using the angle tool around the outside, and then just a little bit of I think that's a metallic gel pens in the little dots there. Really gorgeous. And this is a really, for example, if you used a Pico square, if you use some of our Pico square dies, or the rectangles, whichever one you wanted to, you can make the layout longer if you wanted to. And then this here with some colouring and everything is, if you take away the angle tool, it's just, you could do that as a beginner. You've got the lovely colour in there. You've got, if you're not into your white work yet, there's only a tiny little, oh no, I think that's the white pen actually. But, you can practice with a little bit of white work if you wanted to, into little balls and stuff. So it's perfect for a beginner. Josie Davidson again. So this is the lovely Christmas rose. Lovely white work in the Christmas rose. Really gorgeous. And then just using some of her embossed grid designs again. Using this is gorgeous. The grid designs changing it so you've got the grid design either side. I love this one as well. This looks so gorgeous, just coming down with the line and stuff. Really pretty. And next we've got Karen Jackson. So this is lovely. Karen has used the, it's on, I'm just checking which plate it's on. Oh yeah, it's on the Christmas, so it's on this Christmas candle. So using this one here as the border around the outside, which is a real labour of love, Karen. But see, you can use elements on the inside and the outside of your card. So you really have got a lot of options. Love that. Let me put that back where it came from. There we go. So, and some lovely grid design in there as well. Well done, Karen. That's lovely. And then we've got a little mini make as well. Karen Jackson. This is really lovely, using like the scallop again. I love this. So you've got the sending you warm wishes this Christmas from one of the layouts, and then just a few little make one into the corners, and you've got a lovely little mini make. So this is very, very achievable for little mini makes for Christmas cards. If you haven't got enough time to create a big card, then you can create little cards. So the next one is Glynis Whitehead. I love how colourful this is. Really gorgeous. So we've got some lovely angle tool, not angle tool, Pico V tool around the outside, using some the diagonal grid to create the little dotty effect. Some grid designs in some of the areas, and then some of the baubles and Christmas rose from the plate as well, using the lovely, really gorgeous, and a few little crystals to top it off. They look really gorgeous. Amazing. Love that. And then the next one is Karen Jackson. So I love how Karen Jackson's used grid work in the Christmas tree here, and then cut out around the Christmas tree. Very pretty. And then made some little snowflakes with the grid design. I love this as well. If you wanted to create this little snowflake at home, look at these. Isn't that lovely? Looks really effective. What was that on the plate? No, it's not on the plate. I thought, is that above them? But no, it's really, really gorgeous. I love that. And then you've got the bauble and just a little bit of colour. But when you've got some lovely grid work and laying it on this lovely blue card, then you don't always need a lot of colour. So really lovely. And I love the design around the outside as well. So this is very, very pretty. This is Carol Baker. So a lot of picot cutting here. So it's like a lovely, I think this is the rose parchment, I think. I'm just using pink, really, and then cutting out. This is all cut out, as is this, inside here and here and here, here and here. It's really, that is a labour of love. Lots of picot cutting. And it is, it's pink two-tone parchment. Now say that 5 times. No, but that's really gorgeous. And then the next one, we've got one from Karen Jackson. Karen Jackson, love these plates. She's done quite a few. Another mini make. So this is really gorgeous. So you've just got the little corner designs, one from the layout, and then a lovely little bauble in the middle, and just a lovely scallop design around the outside. Really gorgeous. Really effective. And the next one is Jill Ascombe. So using the Christmas rose and her lovely pearlescent paints, gives that a real lovely shine. This is all picot cut. The lines that were in the actual plate, that's all picot cut down there, using some of the little metallic pens for the centres and everything. Really gorgeous. This is very delicate and lovely from Carol Baker. I love, this is our Rose Garden paper, and I'm guessing it's Rose Garden parchment that's on top of the paper. Some lovely glitter, but just some green and pink. Maybe the It's either the metallic gel pens or it might be yeah, I think it's a metallic gel pens. And then just using some lovely glitter all in those little diamonds there. They really do look like diamonds. And then Carol Baker. Again, this is lovely. Ivories. Could be like an anniversary card. Yeah, it could be like a little anniversary card or a Valentine's card. Isn't that gorgeous? Sending love and peace is Christmas. You could take that out and put Happy Valentine's Day. And then lastly, we've got this one, which I think this is where the idea came from originally. Let me come out a little bit because it's quite a large card. So this was the original idea that it came from. So we've got the Christmas tree, the Christmas candle, the Christmas rose, the bauble. And then this is how Jazz created all of her different layouts. She thought, oh, I could put something there, put something there. So, you know, Jazz is brilliant with creating designs and artwork. She's got lots of brilliant ideas, and her and Barbara get together and they bounce off of each other, and then these amazing plates come out. So we're very lucky. But yeah, so those are all the lovely cards for that one. I love this tag. I think it's really beautiful. They're all beautiful. Crazy how beautiful the artwork really is, actually. So what I thought I'd show you next is, if I come onto the main screen for you, you can see it better. You don't have to see my face then. So this is Tina's Floral Samplers A4 Groovi Plate Duo with 8x8 Rainbow River designer parchment. So these two were really lovely plates. They came out, I think, last month, and they're just so useful for mini makes, or if you want to make larger cards, you can take the elements out. You can use elements in the backgrounds of things, and you can use certain elements for the foregrounds. So, and then the Rainbow River parchment is absolutely gorgeous colours as well. So let me bring it onto the screen at the side there. There we go. So what I thought I'd do is I'll show you them in close detail what they are on parchment, so you can really see. So you've got the bundle, which is 21241. And you have this really lovely sentiments throughout. So you don't just get a couple, you get quite a few. So celebrate your day, love to you, hugs and love, happy birthday, you're in my thoughts. So things, all sorts of different occasions, which is really, really lovely. And then you've got these lovely elements, like I love this. This is absolutely gorgeous. And then this is really pretty. Well, it's all pretty. It's all really lovely. I love the little designs. You can make little scenes with the leaves on the top and the flowers at the bottom. So you've really got a lot of choice, and these are absolutely brilliant. So you wanted this design here, perfect to go into your coasters. If you have coasters with, you can put an angle tool, not an angle tool, any tool around the outside, and you would be able to fit that into your coaster. So these are all, you know, they could go into your coasters, or they can go like little mini makes for birthdays and all sorts of occasions. They can go on elements for bigger cards if you wanted to. So for example, this one here is a lovely design to go in the background of cards. I love this one as well. This is really lovely, the round, and you can make that into, you could put some lovely flowers around the outside, so it makes it into like a wreath. Because you've got some on the inside here, so you could kind of put them on this side as well and make it into a really lovely floral wreath. Maybe put a couple of these flowers on this side and a couple of these flowers on the outside and around. So you can make things bigger as well. So these are both really gorgeous plates, and they come with the Rainbow River parchment. Now again, like the other parchment, it's got some really lovely colours in here. Let me just flick through them this time. So all sorts of fiery colours and pinks and greys and greens, reds and yellows. And I love this one as well. This is one because I like blues, pinks and purples. So yeah, this is one of the ones I always had in my, and this is really lovely as well. The green and the red would make a really lovely Christmas card. And then you have the lovely pinks and purples again, this lovely, almost like a really lovely bluey turquoisey greeny colour. And then you've got the lovely little fiery one. It's really nice. So some really lovely colours in there. So very, very useful. So I just thought I'd just show you a few cards. Where have they gone? Here they are. So I'll just bring that out and bring one of these in. So this is full of glitter. This is Jill Ascombe's card here. Put that over there. Really gorgeous. So some of the lovely, where's that come from? Came from somewhere. Came from somewhere. It came from one. Oh, there it is. So this is, again, this is another background as well. So Jill Ascombe's used this as a background to go around a larger card. So these were really perfect and also great for adding to bouquets. Like you could have this flower and then you could add some of these, you know, because they're a bit like those, I can't remember what you call them. Brain's not working. Never mind. But you can add them to like little bouquets to make the bouquet bigger. So it makes a lovely background and it's got some full-on glitter on that. Look at that. I'm loving my glitter right now. I'm going to put some on the card later. And then just using this one here. And using it with the doodle die. So that's really gorgeous. And then stitched it in with some lovely colour on that one. Really gorgeous. And then I've got another one from Jill Ascombe. So using one of the older layout cards. Can't remember which one it is. We have quite a few. But this is really gorgeous. You'll probably tell me in a minute. I'll have a look in a minute. So using that one I was saying to you earlier about using in the background, this one here. So yeah, really using some really beautiful, some of the little dangles. And this one's another one, the butterflies. So you've got so many elements on there. You don't have to use them as they come. You can use them, and some of them are different sizes because they were originally smaller baby plates, and some of these are bigger sizes than. So you can use them as perspective, or you could use bigger flowers with the smaller miniature look-alike flowers that are on the smaller plates if you have them. So this one, next one is from Glynis Whitehead. I'm just going to have a look at the, where is it? What I'm looking for. Oh yeah, that was Linda's layout set 3, the rose. So that's what this layout's from. So I just thought I'd let you know. So yes, it's a lovely one from Glynis Whitehead. You can always tell with Glynis because she uses this really lovely border some of the time. This border or the some of the lovely double tall borders that Glynis does, really gorgeous as well. So that's lovely, really beautiful. And then full on glitter explosion with Carol Pankstello. There you go. Carol loves her glitter explosions, and that is lovely. So that's just using one of the squares with the nested scallop square plate. So really effective, and they're perfect for mini makes. And this year we introduced the mini makes and ATC group, which a lot of you have joined. It's just so much easier to create smaller pieces of art rather than larger pieces of art. You know, not everybody has loads of time, but if you can devote lots of time to certain cards, they absolutely look stunning when they're finished. But if you've got, if you've got less time on you, say for example, this is the Pico square die. It's cut out the card, and then just 5 little flowers, then some colour, some Pico cutting, and that would be a lot easier than a really large card where you've got a lot more colouring, a lot more Pico cutting. So it's just easier and manageable. Next one is from Josie Davison, using lovely grid around the outside. And again, that lovely thanks that was on the, I think it is called the thanks plate, because that's the first one in the corner. So that's beautiful. And then next we've got Karen Jackson. So I love these colours, really pretty colours. And then Karen's used the plate as it comes, but also has then done another one and Pico cut it all out and then used a brad to connect it together so you can see the center of the flower, and I think that is absolutely gorgeous. So beautiful and so delicate as well. So next one we have Hazel Edwards. So this is lovely as well, just using the design as it comes with a little bit of an embossed design here and some picot cutting around the outside. Really lovely. And we've got a couple more. Karen Jackson. There's some nice little grid work around the outside. One of the grid work plates, not sure which one that is. The Charlotte duo plate. That's really lovely. Love that. And just a little bit of colouring, tiny little bit of white work here and here, and some little butterflies as well. And then we have got another one from Carol Baker, using one of the straight circle grids, because they're straight and diagonal, and then using a lovely black fine liner to outline. That looks really effective with the white. Really beautiful. And then lastly, last one, got, must make sure it's the right way around, Jane Telford. This is gorgeous. So it's lovely blue and golds together. It's absolutely stunning. With some colour yellow in the inside. It kind of looks lighter on the inside than the outside, which is really gorgeous. It kind of gives you like a little glow. And some lovely gold paint around the outside on the angled tool. Really pretty. So that was the Tina's Floral Samplers A4 Groovi plate with 8x8 Rainbow River designer parchment. So those were really, really lovely to see. So I thought it's a really lovely idea just to, we can really kind of like just peruse over the artwork. It gives you inspiration as well, I find, that you can see all of the lovely design team projects that everybody's done and then go, oh, I like that, but I might do it like this. So inspiration really does help. And what I always used to do when I was starting learning, and as all of the design team projects were coming through, I just screenshot or I take pictures if it was on the telly and just get my inspiration from that. And then that would help me, you know, find other projects that were really, really good. So just before I get into a demo, I just thought I'd mention this weekend we have our open days. So let me bring those onto the full screen for you. So the first one's on Friday. So that's 9 till 4. And it's a £10 day ticket. And what happens is, if you've never been to an open day with us before, it's in Ditton. The address is on the ticket there. And what happens is you bring your ticket in, or you collect your ticket on the door, however close you're near to the open day, and you get given a raffle ticket instead of your ticket. And then what happens is, during the day, we have an hourly raffle. And if your number's called out, you get some wonderful prizes that, you know, and these are prizes that Barbara's just taken off the shelves and thought, oh, that goes well with that. You know, it's not things that we want to get rid of. It's actually things that we're selling on the day. And Barbara just goes round before the hour and just picks some things up that she thinks would be a good idea. And then that's what you get as a raffle. So, and then there's make and takes, which you sign up for as soon as you get in, more or less. And they're like little half-hour to 45-minute, probably 45 minutes if you're groovy, to 50 minutes, like a little project that you can create there and then and take it away. So they're really, really good ideas. And then you've got the demonstrators around inside the middle, and you've got quite a few this year coming. So it's really, and then of course, me and Glynis are going to be doing the snip clinic, so teaching everybody how to perforate and picot cut. So sometimes it's nice to do it face to face as well. So the second one is Saturday the 15th, so the day after. So a lot of people come for both open days, because I spoke to a lot of people at the beginning of the year, and they said that one day isn't enough. So, you know, they wanted to do both make and takes, and they wanted to see the demonstrators, then they wanted to actually shop. And by the time you get to half of that, it's the end of the day and you're going home. So sometimes it is good to come for both days. And then a lot of our crafters who come for both days may indeed come to some of the workshops. So this is the one with Barbara. I believe it's sold out, but you may be put on the waiting list. I don't know the situation now. And then the other Sunday workshop is with Linda Williams. So I've seen the project that Linda Williams is going to do on the Sunday, and it's absolutely spectacular. So there's only a couple of spaces left for that one. So if you wanted to be the last one to get in for that workshop, then this is the number. It's 60217. So those are really the main things that I wanted to show you for this hour. And then what I thought I'd do now is Jane Telford very sweetly created a lovely demo. Well, 2 demos. So one of the demos, I'm just going to do a few little tips and tricks with what Jane has prepared. And then the second demo, I'm going to do a couple of weeks, over the next couple of weeks, going to complete another creation that Jane did for the next Groovy Tuesday project. So both are going to go to good use. So I'm just going to start with going into this demo. So if I show you the card, let me bring my black mat. No, actually, I'll show you the card first and I'll bring my black mat. So this is the card that we're going to have a few little goes at. So we've got some lovely Dorso crayons and some Perga colours, a little bit of white work. Oh, sorry, just one space left for Barb's workshop. So yeah, so if you wanted to get in for Barbara's workshop, let me show you, hold on, let me come back into this one just to show you. I didn't realise, I thought they sold out. There's one space left for Barbara's workshop, which is 60216. And like I was saying before, I've also seen what they're going to be doing on the Sunday workshop as well. And you really, if you were thinking about joining Barbara's workshop, not quite sure, then definitely do, because there is something really special that they're doing on Sunday as well. Same with Linda's. I mean, they're both special, like, you know, really good ideas. Something completely different for Barbara's as well. And actually something different for Linda's that we haven't done before. So both are very, very good ideas to get into if you can. So let me come back to his one. So this is one of the demos that Jane Telford created. So some lovely glitter. So what I thought, you can use the mapping pen and the sticky ink if you need to, or you can use the Quickie glue pen. Either way is quite good. However, the Quickie glue pen does obviously have, it comes out quite quickly. So you can't really get fine details, but it's okay for, say, for example, if you wanted this with glitter on, it would be okay for a candle or some scallops, or even just a little bit on the little white work balls if you wanted to. So it's perfect for those kind of details. But if you wanted it on the writing, for example, you'd be best to use your mapping pen and sticky ink. Okay, so firstly, what I thought I'd show you is when we're doing our demos. So I've got this that's been created. So we've used the Pico square die to cut around the outside, which makes life easy because then it's all cut out and it's all done already. So these are perfect for beginners as well, because or people that aren't too keen on Pico cutting or haven't learned how to Pico cut yet. They are perfect for everyone. Even if you want to make quick cards, to be fair, they're really good because it's done for you. It looks pretty, and it just means that you can focus more on colour and all of the bits inside. So I have the plate here. Let me come in here. So I thought I'd show you just a little bit of line art. This kind of does show that you can, for example, hold on, wrong side, doy. There we go. That's it. Perfect. Right, paying attention now. There we go. So as you can see, what I was saying earlier is if you wanted to have this large design here, instead of using the line to cut that in half, then you can. And I think that's a good idea because you have this large area. So you wanted to do a little bit of grid work in there. So it really does show that you can, if you wanted to, you can you can choose what you want for your layout. For example, here, the two lines haven't been put out here, so you can bring that, say you wanted grid work in this one, for example, you could bring your grid work all the way around the corner. So that would look lovely. So what I thought I'd do firstly is I'll just do a little bit of line art. We'll just do a little bit, because that's the easiest part. Let me just stick that down a little bit. Just there and there. Obviously, when you are creating your artwork, I mean, obviously this has already been done. So you would just use your tumble dry sheet over the artwork. It's best to do it maybe before you put it in with your die cutter, because then you don't have to work. You can either use your tumble dry sheet from the inside and work it out, because otherwise if you kind of rub it like this, you're going to get it caught on all these picos. So let's do these little stars, and say you wanted white work in the stars and the little balls. I would do all of the little balls and the stars in the number 2, like so. This is really lovely design as well. I love these little stars. Really pretty. So you have all of your stars and the little balls coming down. And then with the number 1, because you want a nice crisp line, you can then come in with your number 1. And we do the number 1 with this only because you want the lines crisp, but with this element, with the stars and the little balls, you don't want them bright, because if you're going to put your white work in, it's easier to put your white work in when you use the number 2, because the line's not as bright, so it kind of disappears easier. So that's your line art. So let me put that on one side there. So you can see, if I bring it in a little bit closer, you can see that the white balls are and the stars are grayer than the white lines. Okay, so after you've done that, we take that away, and then we're going to turn this over onto the soft side, and we're going to do a little bit of white work. So once you've created all of your line art, it will look like this. And up here, Jane or Paul's already done some white work here. So, and here as well. So I thought maybe I can't turn it over now. There we go. I was going to do a few little white balls there, because then I was going to colour this section and this section in, so we can do a little bit of colour. So with these, because you want the centre white, I always start in the centre first by kind of going up and down and side and round and round. So go up, down, side to side, round and round. You don't want to press too hard straight away, because if you press too hard straight away, you're going to get this really... you're not going to get that lovely white ball, because you've gone too hard going one way, so it's going to look like there's a line in your little round ball. You don't want that. And it gives you a nice little white round circle then. Really pretty. These layouts are really, really nice, because we have Linda's layout plates, and we've got quite a few sets of those now. I think there's Judy might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 3 sets. So I think there's about 9 easy layout plates by Linda, and they're all really, really gorgeous, and they are really pretty. So definitely have a look at those as well if you like these layout ones and you haven't got Linda's yet. They might be worth having a look into as well, because they're really gorgeous. So here we go. So we've got our lovely little white circles, all white worked in. So as you can see from this card here, you've got the white work in the... Oh, let me bring it over a little bit. Got the white work in here. Then the yellow is the Dorso crayon, and then you've got the orange and the green is the Perga colours. So we're going to do the Dorso crayon first, and then we'll go in with the Perga colours. So once you've done the white work, it would then be colour time. Actually, I thought what I'll show you actually is if you are stuck on some of your white work, doing shadow embossing, I do recommend, if you haven't tried them, is the shader tools. There's 3 sizes in the shader tools, and if you struggle with your shadow embossing, then shaders are a really good idea. Oh, thank you, Jenny. There's 4 sets. Where have I been? There's 4 sets of Linda's layout plates, so that means there's 12. And I must have missed those. I probably, if I saw them all, I'd be like, oh yes, I remember those. But so yeah, so this is the larger size of the shader. So they come in 3 sizes. Let me bring in, I've got sizes here actually. So really, really lovely tools for shadow embossing if you get on with them. So the shader tools, you have difference in the width, even though they say they're 0.8, they are 3 millimeters wide, one is 4 millimeters wide, and the 1.2 is 5 millimeters wide. So they are good, and they're these are the numbers for them. You've got the 70002, 70003, and you've got 70456, because this was the size that we brought out later for smaller bits. And the bundle, if you wanted to get the bundle, is 70457. So they are very, very useful. I prefer using my shaders if I'm going to do shadow embossing. But it's personal choice, a bit like the Perga scissors and the 3 different scissors that we have. They're all a personal choice. It's just what you prefer using. So I'm just flicking. There we go. And the reason I prefer them for shadow embossing is because when you press down with them and you flick, because they are wider at the bottom, what we'll find is that when you're using a ball tool, you get a finer line, whereas when you use the shader, there's a bit more that touches the parchment at the same time as the ball. So they are easier if you're struggling with your white work. So it gives you a really lovely effect. So if you do want to have a look at shaders, they can sometimes really elevate your white work. So now we've done the white work, I'm going to do a little bit of colouring. So we have Dorso crayons. We have them in the lively colours. Let me bring it out for a little bit here. We have them in the lively colours, but we also have them in the earthy colours as well, which would have a white and a black and browns, and there's some really lovely greens in there as well. But they're really good for nature scenes and everything. But these are really lovely. You can mix them as well. So if you are interested in learning how to use these and how many uses they have, we have a colour course which showed you, the first module was all about Dorso crayons. And we had a lot of fun that day, finding all of the different uses that we could use for Dorso crayons. And these can be used for parchment, and they could also be used, because they're oil pastels, they can be used for your stamping projects as well. Or mixed media, for example. So they can be used for all ways. And I have a little mix mat as well. So the mix mat you can buy separately, or you can buy it in part of a colour essentials kit. So let's use I'm going to use this lovely orange. So it's like a yellowy orange. However, if you wanted a dark orange, you could always mix it with a bit more of the red. So it's really up to you. I'm just going to put a little bit on my mix mat, like so. And I'm going to just drop a little bit. And I've got my blending pen here with my nib, just like so. I'm just going to bring in some door soil. I need to mix a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our yellow. So what you can do as well, because the blending nib, you can get into some really lovely delicate areas, but you can also use a bit more. Let me move those out of the way. Use a bit more of the side of it as well. So you can use the side of the nib, which gives you a little bit more of a, got space to put in a larger area, you see. Because when you do this and you're doing circular motions, it can sometimes, you see the circular motions, but when you use the side of the nib, I mean, you can use a bit more of the tip when you're going into the corners. There we go. But other than that, you can use the side of the nib and you get some really, you don't see that don't see the lines as much. This is a really, really lovely colour. It looks like yellow, but it's just really lovely orangey yellow. There we go. So that's all the way across. So then I can go over with the side of my nib, make sure that that's all blended like so. And then what we can do up here, well, that's, let me just go right into the line there. You can see I missed a little bit. You can see from different areas whether you've missed a bit or not. There we go. So that's that side. And so then I'm going to bring in my red, and I'm going to bring it in into the yellow, because it doesn't matter, because it's such a strong colour. It won't matter if you put a little bit of yellow in with it or not. But you can see that is a really strong red. I'm just going to put one drop of door soil in there. So there we go. So then I put that in here. Again, using the side of my blending nib. I mean, if you go over the line, it doesn't matter, because you can use your door soil to take the colour away as well. So not so bad then. So we've got I can use the top of my nib to just get into all of the little corners and things. There we go. So nearly there. So just into the corners. There we go. So let me take that out. Like I mentioned earlier, I have gone over, let me bring in another nib. I'm just going to bring a tiny bit of door soil there. I've gone over the line there, so you can then bring in your door soil and take it away, like so. All gone. So that's that. So I did that intentionally. Okay, so once that's dry, so you can see from the front, it gives you a lovely blended colour. There's the yellow. So I have the 5 colours that Jane used are for the poker colours. Got number 2, number 7, number 30, number 16, number 23. So these are the 5 colours that Jane used for the project. So let me do the yellow. I'll just show you. I'm going to use the orange actually. So we're going to use it on this part here. And you can just go over the dorso crowns once they're properly dry. Obviously they're not completely dry yet, but I'm just showing you. But really, you just wait until they were properly dry before you came in with your perga colours. So that's the little scallop detail. So you can see on the front, it brings out the colour. You can use the dorso crayons, but then you can use perga colours over the top, and because it will pop out the colour, because these are like a translucent colour, so they're not going to be in front of this colour. So, and then we've got the lovely, the good thing is because it's a yellow that Jane's used, you can then put the green over the top. Like so. There we are, just like so. Isn't that nice? Really pretty. So yeah, so that's the colour, and then obviously after the colour, once all the colour's done, you have something that looks like this. And Jane's already put the glitter on, so that's taken that job away, but it's really stunning. Love the glitter on that. And then you can choose whatever colour you want to put on. I mean, Jane here, she's kind of giving you choice of two here. So you've got the green that she used for the main project. Let me show you there. So that really pops out all of the colours. But also she put a red here, so it gives you choices. You can use whatever colour you think that you would like to use. That brings out all of the oranges and the reds and everything. So really stunning. All right, so that was the demo. I mean, that was a really gorgeous little demo done by Jane. So thank you very much, Jane, for all of the effort that you put into those demos. And we're going to be doing this project for Groovi Tuesday. Let me bring that one in. Here we go. I chose it because it's pink. There we go. Oh, let me come out a bit. So we're going to do this project for Groovi Tuesday. So this is using 3 of the plates. Let me bring it. It's probably easier bringing the plates. So we've got the dove, which is 42576. Got the Christmas rose, which is 42577, and the Christmas tree, which is 42578. But if you're buying 3, then you might as well get the whole collection, which is 21248. So, which is on the screen, because there's only one plate that Jane hasn't used in this one. And then so we'll go over all sorts of different bits and pieces. We might add a little bit of grid work in there, just to maybe a little bit of grid work around the outside instead of using the Pico squares. So it will just give us some exciting things to do for a couple of weeks. So that's that. So just before I go, I'll just go through over the little bits and pieces that we got on the show before I go. So let me put it into full screen graphics for you. So this is the one that we've been mainly focusing on today. This is Tina's Christmas Easy Layout 8x square Groovi plate collection with 8x8 Shenandoah designer parchment, $41.96, and discount underneath there for you. And then we have Tina's Floral Samplers A4 Groovi Plate Duo with 8x8 Rainbow River designer parchment, $51.98, and discounts are underneath just there. Then if you wanted to, you could buy them singly. So this is Tina's Happy Today, $25.99 with discounts, if discounts do apply. And the Tina's Thanks Floral Sampler A4 Groovi Plate, $25.99 again, and with discounts underneath. And then some of the easy layouts lend well to having some of these sentiments put in. You can have the lines inside, or you don't have to put the lines inside, and you don't have to have the writing how it says it there. You can have "You deserve the world." You don't have to put "and more" if you wanted to. So whatever fits. And then this is the I'm Essential Christmas Sentiments, which is 42553, 1449. So they're really, really lovely. So just a last show before, because this is the last TV show before the open days. So this is our Clarity Open Day. This is on Friday, the 14th of November, 9 till 4. So like I was saying earlier, you've got raffles, you've got make and takes, you've got demonstrators, you've got food, all sorts of exciting things, and a snip clinic, of course, for picot cutting. If you're struggling with picot cutting, me and Glynis will be there helping you picot cut. And this is the Saturdays, the 15th of November, 60215, 9 till 4 again. And then one place still available for Barbara's workshop. That is 60216. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to be lots of fun. I've seen the exciting things that are coming out of Jazz's room. And then the Groovi Parchment Made Easy with Linda Williams. That's the Groovi Digital Parchment Workshop. So that's 60217. So lots of exciting things, but I thought I would just mention that before I go, just about the open days, because this is our last TV show. We have got tomorrow, if you are involved in our perforating and picot cutting course, then tomorrow is the second module in that. So we're going to be going over lots of exciting things tomorrow. So join me at 1 p.m. if you are taking part in that. Good thing is they are live, but you can also watch them back whenever. You know, that's the perfect thing about the workshops and the courses. So that's brilliant. So thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a very groovy Tuesday today. And don't forget, we've got Paul on again at 5 o'clock. I believe it's 5 o'clock. To show you more on the lovely angel plates. So they're really, really beautiful as well. So definitely check Paul's show out on Hobby Maker. And I will see everybody tomorrow who's taking part in the course. If not, if you're coming to the open days, I'll see you then. And if not, I will see you next Tuesday. Okay. Take care, everyone. Oh, and thank you very Jilly for all your help in the room as well. Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.